Hi, welcome to this EstimatorXpress Getting Started video. In this video we shall be going through the drainage workbooks. To start with, I'm going to select Drain Runs and Open Workbook. Once we are into the workbook, it's going to give us a box asking for a name and location of the first worksheet. It's already populated that with Drain Run and Location External Drainage. I can change the location if I wish, but I'm happy with the description for now, so I'm going to click OK. I'm going to select Basic Drain Run with no fittings as my dimensional template. And in the drainage section, I've got my dimensions wizard asking for the drainage details. It does note here that the depth of dig is not the same as the depth of drain, and also another note saying plant associated with carrying out drainage works should be estimated using the drainage plant workbook. I'm going to click Show Tech Tips, so as I click in the boxes I can see what it is I'm filling in. I have 0.4 for the width of my drainage excavation. I'm happy with that. If I come over to the left hand side here, I have depth of excavation set as 1 meter. For this I'm going to change that to 0.6. Confirm the depth of concrete protection, depth of pipe cover material and depth of bedding material as 0.2 each. If I'm happy with that, I can click Next. I can come up to the length of drain run. It's currently set as 10 meters. I'm going to change this to 2. If I wish to use the excavated spoil to be used for backfill, I can do here by saying yes. Otherwise, it's going to be removed. Bulking factor on the spoil to be removed as 1.5. Click Next. Now I have options for my drainage fittings. I have 2 collars required for this already. Now if I needed any corners, I can just tally in the numbers of what I require. For this job, I've got one 45-degree bend as my requirement. I don't need anything else, so I'm going to leave them as 0. All I need to do now is click Finish. Now I have done that, I can have a quick view of what's been done. If I look down here, I can see under the Remove Spoil of Drains for its calculations, under the description for calculations here, there's a 20-ton tipper being used. I can also view this via my Resources wizard. Upon opening, I can change the drop-down box at the bottom for Material to Plant, and then I can view Removal of Spoil from Drains. I can see that the resource being used is a 20-ton tipper, so I'm going to click the drop-down button here and change that to my skip. When the box is open, I can click the calculator to change the cubic meter to allow for the new method of removal. Click OK. OK again. I can review everything else and click Finish, and that plant is now changed. The next item on the list I need to do is a shallow access manhole. So I can bring this up by going straight to the Workbooks tab. In the ribbon there I can go to Drainage. I can then find a shallow access manhole and I need a 600 deep access chamber. Give that a click now. It's now taken me straight into the 600 deep access chamber. If there's any dimensions I need to change, I can view them directly in the column, or I can bring up the dimensions wizard. As before, I may wish to change the method of spoil removal, so I'm going to go to my Resources wizard, drop down Labour, Plant, Subcontract and Sundry, select Removal of Spoil from Manholes, and select my skip, and change the cubic meter value. Click OK, OK again, and click Finish. As I'm happy with the rest of the dimensions, I can now move on to the drainage plant. To do this, I'm going to go to the Workbooks tab again, go to Drainage, Drainage Plant, and select Typical Plant Requirement. It's going to pop up asking me for the worksheet name to confirm plant and location. Click OK. I can now run through the single sheet here. All it's asking for is time required for each item. For this, I'm only going to require an excavator for 0.5 days, so half a day. And then time for the shovel, day, tab through, 1 day, tab again, 1 day. I don't need any trench sheets or props, so I can leave those options as 0. Time required for pipe cutter will be a single day again. The time required for other sundry plant is going to be left at 0, and deliveries and collection I'm going to set to 2. Once I'm done adjusting the time requirements for the plant I need, bearing in mind that you may only have half a day for the excavator there, you'll already have the excavator on site from the point you've done your foundations and footings, so we're just basically extending its rental time or running time on site if you already own it. Click Finish, and that has now applied those calculations. What we can do though is change the resource being used for the excavator. It's currently pointing towards a JCB, so I can go to the Resources wizard. As there is no materials used in this, the material page is blank, so I'm going to go straight to the Labour, Plant, Subcontract and Sundry, highlight Excavator for Drains, go to my drop down list and select Mini Digger and Driver. The calculation for this is a straightforward, I use 1 day for 1 day, click OK, OK, click Finish, and now my drainage plan is done. What I need to do now is return to my job summary, and I'm now done. If I wish, I can mark these as complete. Thank you for watching this EstimatorXpress video on the drainage.